Second point, again related, is will India stay democratic? And people said, no way. It's too poor. And in fact, there have been serious studies. I'll just quote one study, which again is quoted in, again, a very good book called Battles Half Won by Ashutosh Vashni, where he quotes this study. They did a big regression model over from 1950 to 2010 or something like, or 2000, I think, some 50 years. They looked at a lot of countries. So there were over 200 regimes, some democratic, some authoritarian, and they were trying to find out what would explain that some countries are democratic. And the single biggest variable was income. So per capita income, if you're higher and if you have income growth, you stay democratic, otherwise you get into authoritarianism. And India was the biggest outlier. India grew at 3.5% from 1950 to 1980 average. And still we, except for a brief blip of Indira Gandhi's emergency, we have remained, at least to the extent that we hold elections. Elections are reasonably free and fair to the extent that the person you vote for is the person who gets the vote. I mean, nobody's questioning that. The person who wins the MP, who gets the maximum number of votes in an MP constituency, is selected as the MP or MLA. We don't really question that. There may be some rigging at the margin, but it's not that somebody is actually winning who has actually got lesser votes. We all accept that by and large. And that's a unique thing. And just to show how unique it is. So in Vashni's book, he has put this out. So I've actually taken the data and made it into a map. So if we take the set of countries which were colonial subject states. So if you actually look at the world map in 1945, let's say end of World War II, Asia was largely under European colonial rule. Of course, China technically wasn't, Thailand wasn't, the rest of it was. Almost all of Africa was under European colonial rule. And India got into...
One second. Are you changing the slides, sir?
Not yet, not yet.
Not yet. Okay. I thought this...
it's working. So it's working. Don't worry. So India wasn't... India was the first one to actually get, one of the first to get independence from European colonial rule in 1947, as we all know. And if you see 1947 to 1965, by and large, or maybe 1960, most countries got independent. Now you take this set of countries, which were under colonial rule in 1940s and got independent since then. So we are not talking about Western democracies like the European guys or even Australia or New Zealand. Now, this set of people who got independent, how many of them have stayed a democracy since then till today? Have not had army rule, have not had a police rule since then. And it's very interesting. There are exactly 7, which includes India, India plus 6. And there's not a single one of the other 6, which is of any significant size. So this is the set. Okay. So if you see, you have really tiny guys like Solomon Islands. There's no country which has even a population of 1 crore today. India is 138 crore or 140 crore a bit. I made this map a year ago. So I guess 138 has become 140 by now, but whatever. I mean, the rest are really tiny. So that is a second achievement. So 2 major achievements. We have stayed together as a nation. Most of us may think that you are a Malayali or a Bengali or a Punjabi or whatever, but you will also think that you are in India. There is an, I mean, all of us feel sad when England beats us by 10 wickets because we feel we are Indians. Okay, there is that identity. And we have also stayed democratic. Both